Hi guys, welcome to this week's War of the Wednesday. As you can see, I have the new War of the Roses supplement for Hail Caesar. I also have a selection of boxes of figures from Perry Miniatures. I've got 2 boxes of Foot Knights, which is funny because that picture is actually the same picture that's on the book. And I've also got Mounted Men-at-Arms, and I've got from Bill and Bow Infantry. So we'll just deal with the book at the moment because the figures will end up being a Yorkist army. As if you look through my videos, I've already got quite a few units for the Lancastrian side. So this video really is just going to go on this, the new supplement for War of the Roses for Hail Caesar from Warlord Games. And there is the special Richard III resin figure to go with the book. So we will probably be getting used at some point. So let's open this up and have a look inside this bad boy. Okay guys, so what it is, the new War of the Roses supplement from Warlord Games, and I pre-ordered this back in November, and part of the deal on the pre-order was you'd get a PDF of the book when it was released, which is really great because it means that the individual scenarios that are in here, I can print them off and they can be used on the table when playing battles. So I don't need to actually have the whole book for the scenarios, but that's useful. It also means I can print off various sections of the rule book, such as the campaign section out at the back, and use it as a reference or as a leaflet if I'm doing a campaign. So each one playing the campaign's got a copy of the campaign rules. So let's open it up. So first off, we'll go to the back. I'll tell you now that it's 145 pages, including the back cover. It's got pictures on it. So it's not lightweight, well, it's not a massive big 200-page book like the Bolt Action rulebook was. Again, nice illustrations throughout. There are these pictures. Again, this picture, like the one on the cover, is of the Perry box. So the War of the Roses infantry box there, that picture, it's the same picture used there in this book. So I'm assuming that Perry Miniatures had a bit of artistic help. It actually says there, photography, Michael Perry. So yeah, so it's in conjunction. Most of the figures are Perry Miniatures that are in the this supplement. I don't think the Warlord actually do any. So this is the index. I'm not going to give you a close-up view of everything, obviously because of copyright, etc. So we've got a quick go over the contents. So we've got a glossary of the War of the Roses, then we've got various commanders, the special rules and army lists, the field of battle, basically making up your terrain, the Bloody Realms, so you've got various scenarios, Battle of Wakefield, Battle of Tewkesbury, Battle of Hexham, Siege of London, and then we've got Battle of Bosworth, and then we've got some what if scenarios as well, and then we've got a nice supplement on playing campaigns. So it's give you, I think it's 6 pages on campaign rules, and then there's some sample campaigns there with maps, and then we've got weather tokens, campaign maps, etc. So yeah, this is interesting. So we've got a foreword by Rob Grayson, who did this, that's dated October 24. And then here we go. Why the War of the Roses? Because it's cool, that's why. If you don't, if you like Game of Thrones, then please have a look into the War of the Roses, because it is such a cool thing. It's bonkers. People were swapping sides left, right, and centre. They'd fight one battle on the Lancastrian side, wait a couple of years, and then they'll join the Yorkist side and they'll fight for the Yorkist. It's just balmy. So you can do an army for Lancaster, and then later on you can swap the figures around and you can use them for Yorkists. So it's completely nuts. But yeah, well, that's what makes it so good. So then we've got a background section. Basically, the quickest background, it was the Lancastrian and Yorkists, which were basically two opposing sides fighting for the throne of England, and the nobles at the time joined each side, and basically it went on for a good 30 or so years, if not longer, until there was no nobles left, and just Henry Tudor ended up being king, and he married one of the Yorkist supporters' daughters, and created the Tudor Rose, and it ended the conflict. So we've got a timeline here. So it starts at 1450 and goes all the way up to 1499. So yeah, so 50 years or so, long time fighting over. And I said it killed off most of them. So again, soldiers' kit, a bit of background on what they fought with, men at arms. You got longbow, pike, gunpowder was sort of in its infantry, and there was a few handgunners, but they were mainly mercenaries from over from France, Burgundians and things like that. So again, troop quality, tactics, strategy, etc., and then colours and livery. So this is about the heraldry background. You'll see that most, here's an example here, you got different shapes, and most of the nobles had their own heraldry. So what I'm doing is I'm doing my doing 5 or 6 figures on a 6 by 4 centimeter base, and what I'll do is I'll do command stands with different flags, and then I can swap out the command stands for whichever army is fighting at the time. So like this one here, you got William Stanley there, red with a stag's head, and you got the Earl of Warwick there, red with a bear and a stick. So they can both paint them up with red livery on, and I can swap the commanders out. As long as they're not fighting each other, then I can use them. Just change the command stance to change the army allegiance. But that's my plan. That's what I've been doing so far. So then we're going through the notable commanders. We've got Richard Plantagenet, Richard Neville, and then we've got Richard Neville. Yeah, I think this was Richard Neville, his son. There's the Earl of Warwick, and we've got Stafford, William Neville, John Neville. There's quite a few Nevilles. I think these are all Yorkists, and then we've got the Lancastrians. We've got Henry Beaufort, Henry Holland, Henry Pearce, who's the Earl of Northumberland, now Henry Pearce, and the Nevilles had a bit of a ding-dong. They really didn't like each other, and that is another story. You can look up on that if you like. And we've got Butler, Hastings, again, he was Yorkist, John de Vere, Jasper Tudor. We've got Thomas Stanley, interesting tale about the Stanleys as well. Then we've got Edward IV, and then we've got Richard III, Henry VII. So a lot of these are all petty metals, these figures. And then we've got special army rules. there's different ones. Arrow Storm, obviously because of the bows and arrows. Pawn of Fate, Joint Command. And Joint Command was an interesting one because I knew a couple of the battles. The Prince of Wales was only like 15, 16 at the time, so he was there as a figurehead more than actually taking part as a commander. He was sort of attached. So we've got escape rules, feuds. Oh, there we go. We've got the feud between Pierce and the Nevilles families. So that can be used there. Field fortifications, interesting one. Look into that. Horses, and commanders' traits, different traits for commanders, and then we've got unit stats. So this is the only page on units actually, I think. Yeah, that's it, because that's it. Both sides had the same composition. So we've got household, bill and bow. We've got billmen, longbowmen, Scotch-Irish archers, light horse, mounted men-at-arms, which we've got there. Handgunners, as I said, they were mainly, we've got continental halberdiers, continental crossbow, continental pikemen, spearmen with long spears. I've done a unit of them. They are Burgundians, because a lot of the continental stuff will come from that area and France. Then we've got the field of battles. This is about doing the terrain, etc. Picking your army, reconnaissance, trollop, interesting. Trollops there is not notable profile. Trollops there is known with the commanders because he spent a lot of his time with Somerset, I think. Henry Beaufort, Duke of Somerset. Battle of Taunton, so here's the scenarios. So we've got a map layout of the battlefield, and then we've got a description of what's going on, and then we've got army lists for Lancastrians and we've got the army list for Lancastrians and Yorkists. I don't know which is which. I'm going to have a closer look. Which one? So here we've got the battles. So we've got in a chapter, First War, you know, a map here of England and Wales. And then we've got the First Battle of St Albans. We've got the First Battle of St Albans, 22nd of May 1455. A long time ago. Over 600 years, yeah. And then again, we've got a layout of St Albans, and then we've got Order of Battle. So we've got Lancastrian and Yorkist Order of Battles there. So we've got more info, and we've got a what if box at the side, so you can use that to maybe make an alteration to how the game plays, or you can play the battle historically, and then there's a what if. It might be reinforcements turn up for one of the sides, and it might make a difference. So again, Gore Heath, Newham Bridge, Northampton, Wakefield, Mortimer's Cross, Second of Battle of St Albans, Towton, Pilton, Edgeley Moor, Epsom, And then we've got the Second War, which is 69 to 71. So we've got Edgecote, Rosecote Field, Barnet, Tewkesbury, and Siege of London. And then we've got the Third War, which is 83 to 87. And in here we've got Buckingham's Rebellion, Bosworth, Stokefield, not sure on that one, Pretenders Galore, 1485 onwards. So there's just a bit of background on what's going on with the different nobles or personalities at the time. And then we've got War Without the Roses. So now we've got the Scotland rebels in France. There's a little bit here on maybe the 100 Years' War, what's going on in France and Scotland. So we've got the raid on Sandwich there. And then we've got Siege of Carlisle. Battle of Ugston. Again, this is another Petty box art cover. I think this is the mercenary box art. If you get the War of the Roses mercenaries, I think the War of the Roses. Battle of Deptford Bridge, and then we've got the campaign. This bit here, going on a campaign. This is quite interesting. So we've got the campaign rules over a couple of pages, and then after that we've got campaign guides. So create your own campaigns, and the war that wasn't. So then we've got a couple of sort of Summon Splendour, War in the North. We've got a couple of like sample campaigns for you to try out. Warwick's Judgment, Buckingham's Gambit. And then we've got cards to do. So this is like mud, fog, rain, drizzle, tokens, another frozen and wonder cards. This is what's good about the digital version, because you're able to print these out. And then we've got maps. We've got the map of the UK, and we've got a map of north of England. And as I said, with this being, we're getting the digital version as well. I have been able to print off, so in A3, so that's the Northern England one, and then there we've got the England map, and you can see the routes plotted on, so that you can take when you're moving your armies around, when you're following the campaign. And also obviously I printed off the cards. I'm not laminated them yet. I'm going to laminate them and cut them out, and the tokens and that. Yeah, so all in all, it's quite a good book. I'm quite happy with it. It's got a bit of stuff in it to read through. I made up, it's got the scenarios in, which is what I was after, and also it gives me army lists for each of the scenario. So what I'll do is I'll pick one. I have done my Lancastrians for Tewkesbury, but what I'll do is I'm going to choose an earlier one, and sort out the figures I've already painted, and as I said, I'm going to use the men at arms. I'm going to use the foot knight boxes and make a couple of stands so I can swap out commanders. So my first goal is to get a couple. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the figures I've already got, have a look through the scenarios in the book, and see what I can get the most figures towards, and then finish off the figures I need to complete that scenario, and then I'll be able to get round to having a go. So thanks everyone for watching, stay tuned, and don't forget that like and subscribe. I'll come back and you'll be able to see one of the battles of the War of the Roses when I get the figures done. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.